The house is quiet. Everyone's asleep. The kids, her, the dog's at the foot of the bed, and even he's out. And you're lying there in the dark running the same inventory you ran last night and the night before, replaying the dinner conversation, the way she answered, the way she didn't, the things she said 3 weeks ago that you're still turning over, the things she stopped saying 6 months ago that you haven't named yet. You're looking for the signal that says you're wrong about this. You're not going to find it. Not because the marriage is definitely over, because you already read the signals. You read them weeks ago, maybe months. And every night you're back in this inventory isn't you trying to figure it out. It's you hoping the answer changes if you look long enough. It doesn't change. You already know what the signals say. You're just not ready to stop shopping for a different verdict. This isn't about reading your marriage wrong. This isn't about being paranoid or catastrophizing or not giving it enough credit. This is about a man who is running a search with the conclusion already written, and you're calling it trying to figure things out. I'm not here to tell you what the signals mean. You already knew what they meant. I'm here to show you what the search itself is costing you, why you keep running it, what it's protecting you from, and the one question that stops the inventory cold. If you click off this video, you'll run the inventory again tonight. Different details, same loop. Same 3 a.m. conclusion you'll talk yourself out of by morning. And tomorrow night, you'll be back. Stick around. You've been running this search for a while now. Not out loud, not to her, in your head. At night, in the car, in the 30 seconds between meetings when your brain slips off the leash and goes straight back to the same folder. The folder has everything in it. The conversation from dinner 2 Tuesdays ago, the way she looked at her phone instead of you, the things she said about her friend's husband that you're pretty sure wasn't about her friend's husband. The sex that stopped being spontaneous and became scheduled and then became occasional and then became something neither of you really mentions anymore. You've cataloged all of it. You've organized it. You've cross-referenced it. You could build a case. The problem is you keep building 2 cases. One that says something is seriously wrong. One that says you're overreacting, you're insecure, you're reading into things. Marriages go through phases. This is what long-term looks like. Stop being dramatic. And every night you weigh them against each other. And every night they come out roughly even. And every night you go to sleep without a verdict. And every morning you wake up and start collecting again. That's not analysis. That's a loop. And the loop has one function: to keep you moving without arriving anywhere. Because arriving somewhere means deciding something. And deciding something means your life changes. And your life changing means everything you've built around this marriage, the house, the kids, the identity of a man who has his shit together, well, that gets pulled into question. The inventory loop, it isn't trying to find the truth. The inventory loop is trying to avoid the cost of the truth. Here's what's actually happening in that bed at night. You're not reading signals. You're shopping. You go into the inventory looking for the one data point that lets you off the hook, the one piece of evidence that reframes everything else, the explanation that makes the distance make sense without meaning what you're afraid it means. The signal that says, you're wrong about this, it's fine, go to sleep. And when you don't find it, and you never find it, you don't conclude that your read is correct. You conclude that more data is needed. So you go back to the folder and the new entries from today. You run the weights again and come out even again. I know this loop. I've run this loop. Not for nights, for months. Different folders, same search. Looking for the piece of evidence that would tell me that I was the problem. That if I just adjusted something, the math would change. The math didn't change because I wasn't doing math. I was doing something that looked like math and felt like math and had all the seriousness and rigor of math and was actually just a very sophisticated way of not looking directly at the thing I already knew. The search felt like due diligence. It was avoidance with a spreadsheet. Now here's why the loop runs. Your thoughts are not neutral observers of your marriage. They're not a diagnostic tool. They're not evidence. They're noise. Fast, relentless, self-referential noise that your brain generates to fill the gaps between what you know and what you're willing to do about it. The speed your brain runs at in that bed, the way it can generate 17 scenarios in 4 minutes, weigh them, discard them, generate 17 more, that speed feels like thinking, but it isn't. It's the mind doing what it always does when it's afraid of stillness. It's moving fast enough that nothing can land. Because if something lands, if one clear signal cuts through all that noise and sits there long enough for you to actually feel it, you have to respond to it. You have to stop being a man who's figuring it out, and you have to become a man who knows and has to decide. The loop isn't protecting you from that moment. Every new thought it generates is another few seconds before you have to sit in the silence where the answer already lives. Your thoughts aren't data, they're static. And you've been mistaking the volume of the static for the quality of analysis. Stop the inventory right now, in this moment, not permanently, just for the length of this question. Put down every piece of evidence, every data point, every case for and every case against. Clear the folder completely and ask yourself this. When I'm not thinking about my marriage, when I'm in a meeting or working or talking to someone who makes me laugh, and my mind goes quiet for a second, and my marriage enters that quiet without invitation, what do I feel? Not what do I think, not what do I conclude, not what does the evidence suggest. What do you feel? Before the inventory starts, before the first thought arrives to explain or qualify or reframe, in the half second before the loop kicks in and takes over. That half second is the only signal that matters. Everything after that noise your brain generated to drown it out. You already know what you feel in that half second. That's the answer you've been running the inventory to avoid. Tonight you're going to lie in that bed again. The house will be quiet, she'll be asleep, and the folder will open. And here's what I want you to do differently. Not stop the inventory. You won't be able to stop it. But watch it. Watch yourself run it. Notice the moment you find a piece of evidence that says something is wrong and immediately reach for the counter argument. Notice how fast the reach is. Notice that you already had the counter argument loaded before you finished reading the evidence. That speed, that automatic, immediate preload reach for the other side, that's not open-minded analysis. That's a man who knows what the inventory is going to say and is running it anyway, because the alternative is lying in the dark with just the answer and no more searching left to do. See, the searching feels like action. It isn't. It's the most sophisticated form of stillness there is. A man moving fast in place, going nowhere, calling it figuring it out. At some point, the search has to end. Not because you found the answer, because you've always had it. If this landed, if you recognize that folder, that loop, that reach for the counter argument, what's running underneath, it isn't a marriage problem. It's deeper than that. It's an identity that is built to keep moving, keep analyzing, keep generating thought, because stillness is where things you've been avoiding live. The Identity Excavation Kit goes after that layer directly, not the marriage, the man underneath the marriage, the one who's been running the search. This kit is free. The link's in the description. If you want to do this work directly with me, one-on-one, your specific loop, that's in the description too. The signals aren't the problem. You read them correctly the first time. You've been reading them correctly every time. The inventory isn't failing because you're not smart enough or thorough enough or paying close enough attention. The inventory is failing because it was never designed to succeed. It was designed to continue. A search that's designed to continue will continue until you stop running it. Not because you found the answer, because you decided the answer you already have is enough to act on. That decision isn't at the end of the inventory. It was never at the end of the inventory. It's in the half second before the first thought arrives. You know what's in that second half. That's where this ends.